all right, we're gonna be locked inside of a cell with the dark match for like, I don't know, 20 minutes. Does that sound right?
Yeah, it sounds like a way to spend a Father's Day when you don't have kids.
Yeah. Oh man. I don't know. Someone that has kids is Kevin Owens, man. Let's
Yeah,
start there. In the never ending Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn match. I was randomly watching something, but they were talking about PWG, and they had a clip of Owens going back to visit. It was like a ride along, I guess, and like it was before they destroyed the the Legion Hall that PWG was known for all this time, and they and it was falling apart, but he went and toured it one last time before they tore it down. Tore it down, and he recalled the time. He was like, "Oh yeah, I remember this ladder match where they hung the title here, and like Sammy tried to pull down Generico tried to pull down the title, and the like ceiling fell apart on him, and then like so he was holding up the title and like a ceiling panel, and that was pretty great. But I mean, this match is just gonna forever happen, like
yeah.
until these guys like can no longer go anymore.
You know what's funny to me here is that the two guys have been heavily involved somehow or another with the Apollo Crews, Commander Aziz, and Big E stuff. Um, the Intercontinental Belt is not on this card, but we get another Sammy versus Kevin Owens match. It's little weird, a little weird.
Grudge
Um,
match.
yeah, they
I
uh,
mean,
they
is
don't
it?
they don't tend to
Go.
let Sammy win anything, so I don't know why this would be any different.
I mean, the one thing I always love about Kevin Owens matches is occasionally he sets up some kind of contraption, like a pyramid of chairs or anything like that, and it's always like Chekhov's gun. If but it's always in the way where if Kevin Owens sets up something elaborate at the beginning of the match, at the end of the match he's going through it,
Yeah,
and it's predictable, sure, but I love it. I love it every single time.
it th-
um,
this one the card I've got doesn't show that outside of the two cell matches that there's any gimmick matches. Did they add any stipulation to this?
I don't think so. I think it's just straight up, but I don't know. I think none of these matches at least should have disqualifications. Any of the matches that are not in the cell, like let's just go ahead and make it no DQ at
Yeah,
least.
I feel like you should I mean, you gotta. I guess you call it Hell in a Cell because you're gonna have the cell. Just come up with some other Hell pay-per-view title, Hell Night
Yeah.
or some shit, and then just basically merge it with Extreme Rules. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, when they do tables, ladders, and chairs, they do like one full-on TLC match, and then they have like a chairs match and a table match and a ladder match, and like everything on the card has something to do with the pay-per-view name. Um, and I
I
like
don't
that.
remember.
It works for me.
I don't remember what. I had to have to look it up, but that one Big Show match, that tables match, where he steps through the table and he's got that amazing look on his face, that might be one of my favorite matches of all time.
It was one of the highlights of Big Show in the WWE. Not the match itself, just the look on his face.
Yeah. Oh man, so now we're talking about rematches. Let's go into Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. We're getting that again.
Yeah, I don't know why they feel the need to run this one back. Um,
Yeah.
and
I mean,
and
it'll be good, I
it
guess.
it will.
Yeah.
I think really that, and I hate to give them a pass on lazy creative. Like I hate to ever do it, but I really do think that they've just been lazy as shit for like 6 months, and it's just the same match over and over and over and over. Because what's the point doing anything new until you get crowds back? Like save all the good stuff for a crowd pop. Um, so I think that's more what it is than anything else. It'll be a good match. I kind of hope that Cesaro gets another win so that we don't have to get the rubber match here.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, the,
But
the
he
next the next pay per view is like
50-50
3 weeks
booking.
out. Then again, if you work the rubber match into the Money in the Bank, I mean, I'm okay there. Just I
Yeah.
like when the Money in the Bank has storylines going into it. So you could work put both of them in that match. I'm good with that.
Yeah,
And if
actually that would be good. That's a good point.
and maybe Mick Foley's desperate plea on the Steve Austin podcast and show did not go unheard, and Cesaro will get Money in the Bank and get an actual shot at something. Yeah.
Well, I'm just hoping whoever wins the Money in the Bank this year actually gets to keep it and doesn't have to fight for a match to get rid of it. R.I.P.
Yeah,
Otis.
yeah, we and that's another thing. I'll throw back to SmackDown right quick before we jump any further into the card. Um, Shinsuke and Baron Corbin had a battle for the crown. What is the point of the King of the Ring tournament? If you, it's just like taking Otis's Money in the Bank away. Now Shinsuke's the king, even though he didn't win the tournament. Like you're killing me with this crap. I mean, it gave me more Rick Boogs on TV, so I'm thankful for it. But
Yeah. We just call him Prince as well. Uh yeah. Man, it's it is what it is, man. But I like your idea of let's fold this storyline into the ladder match. I do like it a lot when they have like all these different storylines going into that Money in the Bank.
yeah,
Like 5 years ago, I remember when we Michelle and I went to Vegas to see the Money in the Bank there, which excellent show. It's still probably one of my favorite WWE shows, and you had you had that storyline going on with Ambrose and Jericho going on, and you had damn, I forget who else was in there, but I think Sammy and Kevin were in there possibly. Um, but you had Del Rio in there who was mixing it up with all those people. It was it was a really good, excellent way of like weaving that all together.
yeah. And I mean,
Um,
you can do. There's a couple of decent feuds right now, so we don't
yeah,
even have to throw Baron Corbin in here, which I know they'll end up doing anyway. But
yeah,
I mean, you've got whoever you want to put in there with. I don't really like putting existing champions in there because it takes a championship match off the card. But
yeah.
I mean, Kevin Owens and Big E have been teasing like a feud over the Intercontinental Belt. I'm okay with putting both of them in there, so that keeps going. Um, I'm trying to think if anybody else has a feud worth a shit. Um, I can't think of one. Um, Honestly, I want a tag team Money in the Bank match, just so RK Bro can win it. I just want to see what Matt Riddle does with the briefcase more than anything.
You know, we're gonna
Give
get
me
this Money
more
in the Bank.
reasons to watch Raw.
We're gonna give you in Money in the Bank. We're gonna get not only the briefcase above the ring, but there'll be a separate little thing hanging from the ring. It'll just be the crown for the King of the Ring. And instead of doing a King of the Ring tournament, we're also just gonna have a crown hanging from the ring, and
I,
that'll
I
be
got a
defended in the same match.
I got a feeling based on the rumors that USA was not happy that Fox got a Hell in a Cell match. Um, I think the entire King of the Ring tournament is going to be on USA uh, here in a couple of weeks. Like I don't see it taking too long before they have to give them something.
Man, so I was out of the loop. So is Rey Mysterio dead now? Is that what
He might
happened?
be. I mean, honestly, and I was telling Daisy this morning because I got up early and watched SmackDown. Um, Roman inside Hell in a Cell yeeted Ray just like he did Dominic, but when he threw him right into the side of the cage. Like he
Wow.
bounced off it. There was no way to put a crash pad down there because like he bounced off it and you heard him thud. Um, so yeah, I think Roman has killed both of the Mysterios, and if Roman yeeting people out of the ring becomes a regular thing, I'll start traveling to see SmackDown shows. That's been I just want to see it live. But
Man, I feel like I feel like there's some part of Darby Allin. There's like, man, I wish the forbidden door was open between WWE and AEW. So just so he could get yeeted by Roman Reigns.
He would chuck him towards the announce desk from inside the ring. He's going to put him through the announce table. Like
Yeah.
it would be the coolest damn thing ever. Um, so yeah, that would be fun. But yeah, Ray is. I would assume that Ray and Dominic might be off TV for a bit to help sell this. Um, yeah, that he took a pretty gnarly bump for a guy his age.
Hmm. Well, let's do something weird and potentially boring. Uh, Alexa Bliss versus Shayna Baszler. I don't know. Is it going to be just a train wreck? It's going
I
to be a train wreck, right? I
I'm
didn't even know
I'm
Reginald was involved here.
I'm hoping to God that this is some sort of weird cinematic thing, and 'cause I don't. As good as I know Alexa is, I don't know if you can put her over Shayna. Like
Yeah.
Shayna should go in there. She should ragdoll the shit out of Alexa. Like there's no other way this should go. Um, so I hope that they do that. I'm reserved in saying this. I hope that they do something decent with all of the supernatural stuff.
Mm,
Um, they've because just like with Bray, they're 50-50 when it works and when it doesn't. I think when they
right.
let him kind of lead the charge and the creative on it, it works. When they're running the show, it doesn't. So it gives me pause. Like that closing segment of Raw this week where Shayna was running from the doll. Um, not that doesn't really work. But it could be good. I know Alexa is good in the ring, so maybe Shayna can make something happen here. But I don't know. I think it could. It's got the potential to be good, but it definitely has more potential to be a giant train wreck.
You mean when Shayna was being chased? You mean the one of the highest rated Raw segments in weeks?
Oh,
Like
did one of the
that part of the
NBA
show.
playoff games end like just before that segment, and nobody had anything to watch until the next game started?
I guess
That
so. I guess that
is
might have been what happened.
the only way to explain if that was a highly rated segment. Um, un- Unless it's like fucking PewDiePie or something, and little kids thought it was cool and they were watching it on YouTube. Um, that's the only explanation.
um, and speaking of matches from earlier, we were talking about the Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. I mean, this one hasn't been done a bunch, but it's been done enough. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair for the Raw Women's Championship match. Is Vince getting antsy and wanting to put this championship back on his one of his favorite ladies, or is Andrade showing up on AEW gonna make sure that title stays off Charlotte? Like to me, that's what it is. It's just like I don't think she's gonna win just because Andrade is just getting some TV time now.
There's a lot of things going on, but I'm with you. I think Vince is antsy, and if anything changes hands on this show, that's going to be it. Um,
Yeah.
I think he's going to want her to have the heel heat and the belt going into live shows. Um,
Mm,
I'm a little disappointed that this isn't the cell match for the women. Um,
yeah.
I
Because
just I
these two could. I mean, they could tear it up in that cell.
Yeah, Rhea's not afraid to take a bump, and Charlotte's already
Yeah.
shown she can kick ass in the cell. Um, I really think this would have been a better cell match. Um,
Hmm.
I think it'll be good either way, but this is just going to be one more missed opportunity where Vince takes a belt from Rhea Ripley to give it to Charlotte Flair, um, and hopefully they
And
kind of untether her a bit, and Rhea Ripley can cut promos about it too. Just
Yeah.
pipe bomb the shit out of it because it's not like every one of us doesn't understand what's going on.
I would like it if that was the case, and then she brought in like other women from the show that was like, yeah, I'm sick of this shit too. Like just like her always winning this championship and just complaining. Well, then it's always too. So she always comes in and just complains that like she's not getting a shot or something like that when she gets the shots, title shots, like all the time.
Yeah.
So
And you got
and
every fucking week you've got give Naomi a chance trending like
yeah,
every week, and yet she, we'll be lucky if they find a spot for her on the kickoff show tonight.
yeah.
No, I did whatever. She
Well,
needs to be part of Roman's table. I think that's the only real way they're going to make decent use of her at this point.
yeah. Well, let's talk about our Hell in a Cell matches. We got the SmackDown Women's Champion Bianca Belair versus Bailey. Or this could actually main event it. Who knows? But I don't know. What do you think of this? I know, like early on, I haven't been watching it too much. I know early on, I know Bianca and Bailey didn't necessarily have the best chemistry, in ring chemistry. Has that improved?
Little bits. I mean, they haven't really wrestled much.
Mm,
There hasn't been a ton of the weird pre pay per view booking where they just get thrown in a bunch of tag matches. Um, I don't know. It could be good. I mean, I'm sure they've been at the performance center working on it for weeks now. Um, I sort of like Bailey not having a belt because it helps
mm,
her heel character play well. Um, Plus, I don't think it's time yet to go yanking the belt off of Bianca. Um, I think you gotta build somebody up that can actually take her, um, or you gotta bring one of those top tier NXT people up, um, so that somebody new and believable as a contender can get in here and wrestle for this thing. Because I'm it's just like seeing Flair in title matches. I'm tired of seeing all the same damn people. Um,
yeah.
so keep pushing Carmella. Carmella would be a great challenger. Um, she's beaten the everybody in the women's division. She's got wins over, so it's believable. Um, so yeah, I think Bianca retains. It could be great if they've put enough effort into it, and I think both of them care enough that they've put enough effort into it. It could be great.
Yeah. I think just one of the things, just by the existence of like AEW Dark and Dark Elevation, like these wrestlers exist that you could just bring in for like a month or so. There's some that have like defined actual characters. I know it's not WWE characters, but if you're just talking about bringing some people in just to get your champions over a little bit more, to have them just face off against some fresh talent, and then you keep these actual matches like this for the pay-per-view. Like you could still work to build the cards, but then just have them face nobodies in a way, but like but they can still advance the storyline. They can still be around and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I don't
and
know. It's definitely possible, and the wrestlers are out there that are good, that are unsigned. So yeah.
yeah, and they've got enough damn TV space where they can be, you know, have your 25-minute opening Raw segment and then put a little match in there after that to get start building exposure for some of these people. Stop doing the exact same damn match every week on main event. Like this is it's an hour of TV that 40 minutes of it you devote to a recap of the show that people watched on Hulu right before you posted main event. Like
Yeah.
use the fucking TV time that you've got to like actually build people. Quit giving me the same damn match. I do as they're go. When are they going back on the road? Is it 3 weeks? 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
Something like
Um,
that in July. Yeah.
the man has been at the performance center getting ready. Um, I could see her turning up at the end of one of these matches to get the big pop and finish selling. I don't care what Stephanie McMahon says. I've looked at the available tickets on these tour dates. They are not selling like hotcakes. Um, about 80% of the floor seats at the show here are still available, and those tickets went on sale 2 weeks ago.
What you
So
don't know is Stephanie McMahon had a roadside hotcake business when she was a child, and she sold like I don't know, like 40% of her stock every day. Though the hotcake she made, she threw away the rest. So in that case, it's going exactly like selling like hotcakes. Her experience.
all right, if she wants to if she wants to UWF at the MGM this damn tour, that's fine. But um, yeah, I could see her turning up at the end of one of these. I really thought this was the opportunity to show us who you're bringing in to build towards Roman's SummerSlam challenger, but I guess maybe he wanted to spend Father's Day at home. I don't know. Would have made for a hell of a Paul Heyman promo if he was like, "We called and said we weren't showing up Sunday. They had to move the match." Like, I'd have been on board for it. Get more heel heat, but yeah, I thought it was a little weird to move your top draw off your pay per view card since he has the longest running streak of pay per view appearances of anybody in the company.
I think yeah, that additional thing where USA is not happy, like it's all the same company, USA, Peacock, and all this stuff. You moved your top drawing match, the potential to have Roman Reigns on like the Comcast, NBC Universal brand company. You moved
Yeah,
it
that
straight up to like completely off your service.
yeah, that's got to be more than anything. That's got to be what pisses him off. Um,
Yeah.
that you literally you handed Fox your top guy the one time in a month that he gets to be on their network.
Oh man. So speaking of matches that have been done a bunch, WWE champion Bobby Lashley defends his championship against Drew McIntyre in the Hell in a Cell. Um, is this sad? Is this sad that Drew McIntyre just keeps on going up against Bobby and failing? I can't
I
tell.
Well, I if I'm a betting man, I think he fails again. Um,
Yeah.
it, I don't know. I don't know.
Is he gonna fail again and then like we're gonna get that WWE thing where like then he becomes a heel because he got so frustrated about losing all the time
I
and then
mean,
I don't know.
it's possible. I honestly think that having him lose here kind of tees it up for him to get traded to SmackDown in the draft, like 1st of August
Mm,
or whatever when they've got it scheduled. I'd kind of like to see him go to SmackDown, not immediately work Roman. I would much rather see him get involved with Big E, Apollo Crews, all the Intercontinental guys. Um,
mm.
because I mean, hell, he could put on just banger matches every week if he was working with those guys. So I think he loses and then he ends up on SmackDown. Um, I don't know who the hell they bring back from SmackDown that fills the void of your number two guy. Um, because I mean, I assume they look at him as their number two guy. Um, but yeah, I don't think there's any way he wins here. And truthfully, if we don't get Becky Lynch, uh, depending on which match headlines this show, uh, I'd say the women's match, Becky Lynch turns up at the end. Um, I think Brock Lesnar comes back if this match headlines, and
Mm.
I think they're gonna set for down the road Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley, because I think that's what Bobby wants, and I think Bobby's earned it at this point. So back the Brinks truck up and just give Brock what he wants, so that Bobby can get his damn match.
Yeah, I remember when Bobby first came in and he was doing those interviews, or like when he was in TNA, it's like, I want to back to WWE, got a unfinished business with Brock Lesnar and stuff like that. And he comes in, he's doing like uh that weird ass thing program with Sami Zayn where he's like bringing in Sammy's sisters or something like this whole thing is like, yeah, this is not gonna happen, and
Yeah,
this is no way this is gonna happen because like the ship's already sailed. Like this is what Vince McMahon thinks of you, but it's turned around.
yeah.
So
And
it's actually been the biggest surprise to me of all of this.
the Hurt Business saved his current run in WWE. It really did. Um, he looks like $1 million every time he's on TV. Um, and yeah, between the weird sister shit with Sami Zayn and then that god awful cuckold storyline with Rusev and
Oh
Lana
yeah.
and Liv Morgan was like a lesbian part of this thing at one point, and I there were so many moving pieces in that damn storyline that I don't even think Vince knew what was going on. Um, I'm surprised Reginald wasn't part of it somehow. Um, but yeah, he's made he he took the lemons and made turned them into a fucking margarita at this point. Like he's killing it. I really do. I think they owe it to him if they want SummerSlam to be as big as they're shooting for. Back the money truck up. It's not like you didn't can enough people to cover what you're going to pay Brock Lesnar. So
Yeah.
just make it happen. I'm not thrilled, obviously, about having to pay Brock Lesnar to come back, but if that's what Bobby wants, just give it to him. He earned it.
Yeah. Well, that's the end of the card. I mean, it's we're just keeping it pretty simple today with just Hell in a Cell, really. And I guess we'll watch it and uh, see what happens. Also, I'll just a little quick update. The first updates of many. I purchased some or dollar sign MJF coins. His MJF coins are better than you, and you know it, or better than yours. And so far, I'm up like I don't know, like 75%.
Not
So
bad.
so not bad. I don't know what the point of this is really, but I put $50 in and I have like $140 now. So
MJF
I know that's probably not
better than
75%. I did
Doge,
not.
and Doge knows it.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to the moon, but it's going up into the air for a little bit. I don't know. It's going to be worthless by probably the time the next time we podcast. So I want to bring it up every podcast now.
Yeah, when
Just
he eats a loss next week to Sammy, your coin tanks.
Oh man. So we'll see what happens there. But enjoy Hell in a Cell or whatever, or hate watch it, whatever you want to do, and we'll catch you up sometime this week with our recap of that. See you then.